and welcome to Kairos kitchen. I'm Adeola and today I'm going to be cooking a Nigerian style fried rice. This is a traditional rice recipe in Nigeria that you can have for lunch or for dinner, and it's just a basmati rice mixed with spices, vegetables and prawns. So I hope you'll all be looking forward to it.
Don't forget to wash your hands. Keep going, at least 20 seconds please.
So I'm just going to show you what I've prepped in advance. Main thing is the basmati rice. You get basmati rice or long grain rice. It's preferred to use basmati rice just because that generally cooks better with all the spices. But if you only have long grain, that's totally fine. All I've done is poured in 3 mugfuls of the basmati rice in a medium to large size pot. I don't really go off official measurements, it's just 3 mugfuls or 2.5 mugfuls depending on how many people you're cooking for. I tend to make batches. I've cut 1 red pepper and 1 red onion. You can use a white onion, you can use any kind of colour pepper you want, it doesn't really matter, whatever you can get your hands on these days, because ain't nothing in the shops. Mixed veg, it's just frozen veg. You can get tin veg, whatever it is you can get your hands on. I usually use frozen, so it's just peas and sweet corn. You can get the ones with carrots and stuff as well. Again, you just add in however much you want, really. This part is optional. Prawns, so they're uncooked peeled prawns. I just got them in Lidl for about £3, and I also chopped up 2 cloves of garlic and 1 Scotch bonnet pepper. This is a Scotch bonnet pepper. They're really spicy. If you don't like your spice, I wouldn't recommend adding it in. Or if you do just like a little bit of spice, you could add in 1 chili pepper. Or if you don't like your spice at all, then I wouldn't add in any of that. You can also add in some olives. I just cut a few olives up. You don't need to add that in if you don't like olives. But it's quite a good recipe to be able to just add in whatever vegetables and things that you have in your fridge, and you can just mix it all together. If you don't like prawns, you can add in corn pieces instead, or you can add in chicken or meat or nothing at all. It's up to yourself. Traditionally, Nigerians would tend to add in prawns or little pieces of kidney. Yeah, I don't really like the kidney, but I add in the prawns. The next thing we're going to do is wash the rice. You essentially just need to rinse it underwater and then drain it maybe 2-3 times, basically until the water isn't cloudy anymore. It doesn't have to be super clear, but it just has to be not cloudy anymore. So I've washed the rice a little bit. I've just filled the pot with some water, just a couple inches above the rice, and I've put it on the boil on a medium heat. And I'm just gonna add in some salt, sea salt, table salt, whatever. And essentially, I just let that boil. I parboil it, so what that basically means is that you're not boiling it until it's completely done. You don't want it to be too soft. You want it to still have a bite to it and have a crunch to it, because essentially, when you add in all your spices and your vegetable and things, you're going to cook it again. So you don't really want it to be all too mushy. So you're just going to check on it in about 10 minutes and just see if it's a little bit crunchy or if it still needs to be cooked a little bit further. You could get a separate pot or separate pan and fry the peppers and onions and prawns. I'm just going to add in some extra virgin olive oil into a separate pan. All I'm going to add to that is the peppers and the onions, and then once that's pretty much almost ready, I'll add in the prawns and the garlic, and again I'll add in a little bit of salt to that. I've just added that on a fairly low heat, so I'm just going to leave that. My rice is still cooking at the moment. And what I like to do is get a little spoonful and basically break it off with my hand and try and see how soft it is. If it's still got a bit of a crunch to it, then that means it's pretty much ready to be drained and switched off. But I'll show you what that looks like when it's all ready. Okay, so I think the rice is done now. I'll just show you on a spoon. Something that you can pretty much tell from tasting it and just feeling it. So it should be a little bit soft, but not totally soft. I don't know if that makes any sense. Drain all the water out in a sieve. just going to drain it all in the sieve. I'm just going to leave that to cool. You can just leave it in the sieve basically for a couple minutes. And the prawns and the peppers are still cooking. I'll probably turn that off in a couple minutes as well. Okay, so I'm going to put this pot actually back on the cooker. I'm just going to turn down the heat a little bit though, just into the lowest one, probably about 1 or 2. Because whilst I'm leaving the rice, so it's just in the sieve there, whilst I'm leaving that to cool down a bit and for the water to drain, I will actually just add that back into the pot. And this is when we start adding all our spices. Okay, so I've turned the fryer off where I was frying the prawns and the peppers, and I put the drained rice back into the pot that I was cooking it in, so there's no water left in that anymore. And you'll see in a photo that I've made a little hole in the pot with the rice, because that's where you're going to add some of your vegetable oil. This is the frying process, that's why it's called fried rice. You're not totally frying it as you would normal things, it's just to give it a little bit of a sauce, or a jus, as what people like to say. So I only just got this measuring jug a couple of days ago from IKEA. I never actually do things officially by measuring them, so I'm going to try my best. So this is just sunflower oil. You could use vegetable oil, olive oil, whatever type of oil you want. I like to use sunflower oil for this just because it tastes a bit better. It says half a cup, which is about 100 milliliters. And all I'm going to do is pour that into the rice, so just into that bit where the hole is. The cooker is still on a low heat. I'm going to turn it up a little bit to number 3, so I think that's low to medium. And what that essentially is doing, that's just going to fry it. Okay, so I've poured that in. My spices now. So there's a few things that you need. One of the main ingredients, curry powder, Maggi cubes, which is just basically a stock cube, a chicken stock cube. If you don't want to use that brand or that flavour, that's totally fine. You can use a different type. Bay leaves. So I got these from the local Asian shop, but you can also get them in supermarkets. Salt as well, some thyme. So I'm just going to add in all those things. So you can see here that I added in the 2 Maggi cubes, 3 spoonfuls of curry powder, a sprinkle of black pepper, and 4 to 5 bay leaves. I put in the mixed veg and the olives, and what I've done is I've just stirred it all together. It's on a medium heat. I don't know if you can see that there. So you basically just keep mixing it and you just keep letting that cook. So I've added in all the spices as I've said. I've mixed it all, then added in the prawns, peppers and onions last. And you want the colour to be quite yellowy, that's what the curry powder and the oil will do. And you just keep stirring it just so nothing sticks to the bottom and so all the rice is evenly distributed. I'll just show you here. So it should look a little bit like that. Just leave that to cook for 10 minutes. You can cover it up. It should be done after that. So that's it all basically finished now. All I've done is let the rice cook on a medium heat for about 10 minutes and I've turned it every 3 or so minutes just to make sure that it's not sticking to the bottom. I'll just show you a bowl of it here. Yeah, and that's that. So thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and please share your attempts at making it. It would be really cool to see people's different sort of variations and stuff. Hopefully I'll see you guys next week. Bye!